You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hey everyone, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling grateful? Maybe think of 3 things that you are grateful for. Why? Because it may be easier to get some work done today just because you did that one simple exercise. Give it a try. But anyway, welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
My name is Rob, and I'm thankful for you guys. Thankful that you're hanging out with us, that you come and listen, if not every day, many days, and we appreciate that. Thankful that you guys send questions in to keep this podcast moving forward.
Thanks to the reviews. Can't forget about those reviews, Rob.
The subscriptions, just everything that you guys do to make this podcast a success. We thank you. So welcome.
Definitely welcome. Anyway, guys, also big special thank you to our sponsors, like the guys from Charky. Why? Because if you love grass-fed, all-natural lamb meat, so you don't want any nitrates, any chemicals, that stuff that can send you to the hospital when you're a geriatric old man or woman. That stuff. If you want to invest in your health without investing in the healthcare system, invest in the food you eat and get quality good meats like Charky. Check it out today, charky.love, or go to Amazon and search for Charky yourself, Charki. Anyway,
Absolutely.
also,
Good
big
stuff.
special thank you to our friends at VideoBlocks. Why? Because they have an entire library. It's a subscription-based service to give you copyright-free music, copyright-free video, even motion templates. Check them out, videoblocks.com/drone, so you can get special access for free for 7 days. That's videoblocks.com/drone. Well, Rob, we've got a steezy episode today.
Steezy.
Yes.
Interesting choice of words.
Well, you are drinking Steez.
It's good stuff.
This is one of those jargon terms that just went
Is that like a Urban Dictionary kind of thing?
yeah, let me look that up really quick for
Steezy?
you. Steezy. For those of you at home, what do you think steezy means?
Sometimes Paul messes with the old man.
I like messing with old men. You're not old.
The older man.
Steezy. All right. Steezy.
I think we've done this in the past.
Uproariously. Get it? Uproariously.
Uproariously, sure.
Awesome, sick, or dirty. Yeah, dog, that pure steez. Damn, Avery. Them be some steezy shoes.
All right, I don't think I'll be using steezy anytime
No
soon.
more ebonics lessons for you?
Nope, I'm good.
Let's get to today's
power to the people
question.
that want to use it. That's awesome.
I think it's a cool word.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Sean from El Paso, Texas. I have a question about air traffic control. And my question is, here in El Paso, we have 2 airports, El Paso International and Biggs Army Airfield, which is a military. And if I want to fly in the vicinity, do I have to get permission from both air traffic control towers to perform my UAS operation? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
He's got a great question. This is why it's so important to understand airspace, because if you look at an airspace map of El Paso, you'll quickly realize that the floor of the airspace in El Paso, here, let me look it up really quick.
So just remind people really, really quick where you go to look at the maps.
So if I'm going right now, like literally right now, the first thing that I pulled up was AirMap, just to get a general gist of what AirMap is telling people. Then I pulled up skyvector.com. I'm on skyvector.com right now, heading down the Rio Grande, heading to El Paso on this map. Here it is, El Paso. So the floor of the second ring is 5,200 feet. So if you read airspace, you'll know that even though there are 2 airports, there's a Charlie airport and there's a Delta airport, that in specific areas, it won't matter if you're in class D or not because of the airspace floor. So for example, on SkyVector here, it shows an 80/52. in this magenta band right here. And that 80 over 52 means the ceiling of the airspace is 8,000 feet and the floor is 5,200 feet. Now the inner circle right by the air base is to 8,000 feet down to the surface. So he would need permission from not only the commander of the base, but also air traffic control for that airport itself. But the area where you need that is a lot less limited than what AirMap is showing you right now. This is why it's so important to know airspace maps, because AirMap is saying pretty much for 5 miles you're screwed, which isn't true.
Okay.
So now, if I wanted information on Fort Bliss, I could just look it up in the chart supplement. I could just go to SkyVector or AirNav and type in KBIF and get the information that I need to reach out to that person. I will say though, gosh, there was a point I really wanted to hit. I will say though, with with airspace maps, you could be in an area where you really think based on the Before You Fly app or something else that you cannot fly where you are, and yet you can. So it's really important that you understand airspace. If you don't understand airspace, right now, there is additional classes that were just added to Drone U. Like Ilker is literally doing it right now. He's adding them on Wistia right now, where we go over weather and airspace. But it's from Ted Wilson, who's a certified flight instructor for the FAA, and he works here at Drone U. You can check out those videos. You don't have to watch all day long to get to just that particular section, because Drone U has part 107 training lecture style. We've got a study guide. There is now an freaking audiobook. And guess what? There is now this, sectioned off, very specific class where each video is probably 5 to 10 minutes max, and you can watch just one specific piece of information.
That brings up a really good point, because it doesn't matter if you've already passed your 107 or if you're not ready to fly for the 107, take the 107. You could still come learn this stuff, which you need to know.
Exactly.
It's really important.
It is really important. And for him, the whole April 27th airspace maps are definitely going to make it a lot easier on him, because when you're working between a commander and an air traffic controller, you have got to get a yes from both of them when both of them question whether the other person said yes. It's like the prisoner's dilemma. Both have to be completely on board or else they both lose.
Yeah.
So
literally if one says yes, the other says no, it's a no.
Exactly. Which is why April 27th, it'll be a lot easier for him to fly. Now, if he's flying recreationally, this is why people hate the airspace system, because he could just call the tower, leave a message and say, hey, I'm a mile from the runway, but I'm flying recreationally.
Yeah.
I notified you. There.
We're done.
Have a good day.
Right.
Do you drink your coffee black or with cream?
But in this case, if he's flying commercially, he's got to get through to somebody and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And get actual permission.
Yep. And getting the commander on base is pretty difficult.
Does it have to be the commander? Or could it be
supposed to be the person in charge of regulating the airspace. That could be difficult because, for example, the commander at Oceana in Virginia Beach, we've learned that he's a very cool guy. Very, very cool person. But there are some commanders who can't be troubled to even deal with these requests. And I've dealt with that myself.
Well, yeah, and on some level you can understand that. They're probably very busy, and to have drone pilots, it's just one more element to their job that they weren't necessarily planning on.
Very true.
12 months ago.
Very true. But I will say, when we flew at the spaceport down by White Sands in the restricted area, when we called them to go over flight planning and whatnot, they were seriously some of the nicest people I've ever talked to. So
ultimately, it's like any industry, anything you're trying to do, you're going to get some good people, you're going to get some rough people. You got to learn how to deal with both.
And you've got to understand, too, that what you put out and how you present yourself is highly going to affect how people treat you in return. Yeah,
and remember, and you might need to come back to this place for some reason down the road. Think long term, not short term.
I know the humble pants in your mind don't exist, but I'm going to put them on for a second.
He borrowed them.
I did borrow them, but there are a lot of times, my biggest issue is learning how to not act or respond in a way that's emotionally charged. I have to separate myself and really think about it, and I'm a very rash person. So this is a big deal for me, and I will say there are often times that I get in arguments with you and Tim, And I have to learn how to work on what I'm saying and how I communicate it, because what I've learned, Rob, is that emotion is the only thing that can overcome intelligence and rationale. Emotion. So sometimes I have to remove myself from a situation and then come back and I'm 10 times better. And sometimes that doesn't make people comfortable. And really just to say, you know what, I need to step aside for a second and I will talk to you later. If people don't respect the fact that you said that, it's totally okay to walk out and calm yourself down and go back and have a conversation. But I will say that there are oftentimes I have to walk away from a situation and then come back to it once I've kind of calmed down myself. That's okay. And if people tell you it's not okay, it is okay. Because it's better than the latter of fist fights, choking out, and death matches.
Or just, I don't know, that sounds pretty cool. But
I might have just started something new here, Jordan.
We're going to buy some gloves. Hey,
that's what we used to do in my last business. We had these huge,
the big gloves?
like the sock'em boppers or whatever,
Right.
and then we would just go at
just
it.
pound each other. That might be something we need here. But anyways, and the reality is you're not ultimately going to get what you want or what you need by being a jerk.
True.
Most of the time. I mean, I don't know of any studies, but if there was a study done, the nice person who handles things graciously and has some patience about them is probably going to get what they want more often than the person who doesn't quite handle it that way.
I have learned this the hard way with hotels.com. The customer service for the silver team. Gosh, sometimes I just want to punch them.
And there's nothing more frustrating than crappy customer service. So,
Actually, there is something more frustrating than that.
What's that?
Crappy customer service with no understanding or knowledge of nuanced coding problems. Here's my example.
Yeah. So get out of your little box, basically.
Get out of the box.
Or that.
Yeah. Here's go to hotels.com. If you try to book a hotel last minute, and then let's say it's 11 o'clock in Phoenix, which means 2 a.m. in New York, hotels.com and Expedia run off of East Coast time. So if you try to book a hotel for Phoenix at 11 or 10 o'clock, you will never actually get a hotel room because it's a nuanced coding error. So I booked 4 hotel rooms that I couldn't have access to because the hotel was full.
Ouch.
In Phoenix. This happened 2 weeks ago. Almost slept in my car. Finally got a hotel from Hotel Tonight, which is another app I use. And hotels.com had no idea what was going on. None. No clue. And that's a nuanced issue. Just because they did not set their app to be a universal time code, meaning whatever time code I'm in, whatever time zone I'm in, that's the time zone you use. No, they just use East Coast time. So all of their app decisions are made off of that time.
That's a bit antiquated. Probably needs to be upgraded.
Yep. And I think our society and business is quickly learning that if you do not cater to people and genuinely care about them, you will be moved to the wayside so fast your head will spin.
Yeah.
United Airlines.
There's an expectation. Yeah, that's going to be curious to see what happens with United.
When their stock went up yesterday, I was like, whoever is buying their stock right now is not making smart decisions.
That is really interesting. I wonder what's going on there. It's almost like somebody's setting it up to short it.
I was thinking that same thing. So United Airlines stock.
We should short it.
We should short it.
Wow. Anyways, all right. So Sean, thank you for the question. And so the answer is yes, you're going to have to notify both airports.
Okay, here, I guess it dropped off again. United stock fell 3.7%, wiped $830 million off of the market cap.
We should have shorted it first thing this morning.
Damn it!
We had the podcast.
Freaking podcast. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. I will see you later. Rob, thank you.
Thank you, Paul. It's been fun.
Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.